because I didn't really do that for long. So basically I was saying that last night at 2 a.m. I was looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin looked very weak, and then I was looking at TRVL. When I saw that Bitcoin was at the peak of last night's sell-off, it was at 2 a.m. So see, 2 a.m. at Bitcoin, it looks really weak. Look at that sell-off. There was a high volume red into the lows. It looked like it could almost collapse. And if you look at TRVL at 2 a.m., it's a green candle. Green candle. And that green candle is on all of the exchanges. Look, all of the exchanges for TRVL. Okay, not KuCoin. KuCoin has, it's not a red candle in the sense that it was a sell-off. It was actually a buy. But so let's see, 3 of 4 exchanges. So half of the exchanges were red buys, but they weren't sell-offs, and the other half were green buys. So what I was seeing was that TRVL was green, and then when I was looking at the rest of the market last night at 2 a.m, Bitcoin was at its weakest, which was at 2 a.m. This is UK time. I was looking at all these other coins, and I was seeing weakness. So you look at all these other tokens at 2 a.m. Look, this is Ava. See that red candle? It was being sold off. And then if I go through all of them, BNB, this red candle, 2 a.m. being sold off. At the same time that Bitcoin was being sold off, BNB was being sold off. Solana, 2 a.m. same thing, sell off. Aave, 2 a.m. sell off. ETH, 2 a.m. sell off. So it's all matching with Bitcoin. Injective is usually quite strong. Look at that, 2 a.m. sell off. ADA, 2 a.m. sell off. Optimus, 2 a.m. sell off. And if you look at the trend of all of these other coins that I was looking at, Cake is usually quite good, and they changed their tokenomics recently. And even Cake, at 2 a.m. there was a sell-off. And when I was comparing that to TRVL, I was going, wow, TRVL was actually 2 a.m. It was actually going up, or it was going sideways. It wasn't being sold into. Yeah. So when Bitcoin was being sold off, TRVL wasn't being sold off. In comparison to the rest of the market, I think TRVL is actually showing a lot of strength at these. And I think a large portion of the reason why that's happened is simply because of everything that I've been saying about TRVL, is that we are at the lows and there's no more selling. Like right now, when the whole market is selling off and TRVL is actually going up, or at the very least not going down, going sideways, that is a real indication of strength in this token. Now, I think when you want to buy a token, you want to buy it strong. And there's two types of strength. There's strength when the price is going up, and there's also strength when the price isn't going down. And I think the most important strength is that the price doesn't go down. When you're investing in a token or an asset, you don't want the price to go down. It's really important. It's almost more important than the price going up. Because if the price isn't going down when the whole market is selling off, then that tells you that people are still buying and they're not selling. They're not selling. You don't want to be investing in an asset or a token or anything where people are so easily looking to sell. And I think what we're experiencing right now with this token are significantly strong hands at these levels. Really strong hands at these levels. That's what I think we're experiencing. People aren't even thinking about selling. If anything, what I'm seeing is that when Bitcoin goes down, people are looking at it as an opportunity to buy more, because they know that that is going to be the lowest of the low in the context of Bitcoin. So obviously other people are looking to buy other tokens, maybe because those tokens pump. Okay, but I said with TRVL we haven't really moved yet, so we're in an accumulation range at the lows. It's a very tight range in context of the markets. If you look at this range, if I work out the volume of this range from the value area low to the value area high, yeah, the range is only 7% up, and yeah, and both 7% up and down. So it's a very tight range, and what we're experiencing now is heavy accumulation in this range. And in context to Bitcoin, we're showing a lot of strength when Bitcoin goes down. Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market is literally selling off. Look at ETH BTC at 2 a.m. last night. Ignore the drawings. Red candle. It was sold. You can see the wick underneath it. USDT at 2 a.m. sold. Sell. So I actually think that the TRVL, this is telling us something about TRVL. I'm not like saying, okay, it's going to break out. It's going to break out. Marve says it's happening, hey? I'm not saying it's going to break out anytime soon. I don't know if and when it's going to break out. But I think for most people, it's really important that the price we don't lose value, and we're not losing value. When Bitcoin was crashing, we weren't losing value in TRVL. I think that's the most important thing. That's going to give me and you confidence to levels, right? And my thesis has never changed. I still think that we're going to have to flip. I've got this Fibonacci. So I basically took this fib from, and I'm doing this all on log. Take this fib from the high, from the all-time high. I'm doing this on MEX because that has the correct all-time. Taking it to the all-time low. If anyone's charting as well, then put your chart fib levels based on log scale. Marve says it's going to 4.1 cents to them. And then you see, look, got this these fib levels in this highest time frame. So I think what we really want to see now is the next move. We really want to see us to flip this 2.36, sorry, the 0.236 into support. I really think that that's the next level. I want to see that happen. And that's going to be above these candle highs. Maybe we'll come back test it a little, whatever. And I think then a little bit of accumulation there. The same way that there was a distribution here, I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of accumulation. And for most people, that's really good, because if we can get from where we are here to here, this is 81% up from our position, current position. But then we are in this upper range. So I would like look at these higher time frame fib levels as do it like that. This obviously, this is the lower range all the way down to the bottom, and obviously within ranges you have multiple ranges. You know, like it's not just one big range. It is one big range, but then there's many ranges within the bigger range. And obviously here you can see in the previous price action there is actually two ranges. There's this kind of lower range, and then it was briefly in this upper range. This price action is very deceptive because there was no ranging there, moving through back. So I think once we get up there, we're going to be basically mimicking this previous price range. Maybe we'll be like there, and then obviously the bullish, it'll become more bullish up there. I don't understand your question. Marve is saying they took 10% now, should return 12. Don't you think that would be? I don't quite understand what you're asking. What do you mean they took 10% now? Who? When? So yeah, so but I mean, like, I really feel that with this token, it's possible that once we start moving up, then people are going to start FOMOing. I think that's very possible. And I think a large portion of what happens is going to have to do with this tokenomics package, this document that's going to be released hopefully this week. Oh, the January the 4th drawdown. This one here, huh? This isn't really, I wouldn't class, like, I wouldn't call these drawdowns personally. Yeah. These are market buys. I would say this is a drawdown. This big candle here is a drawdown. And I think what happened with this candle was that there were certain characters, certain people who were unhappy with the progress of the project, and they were looking at other altcoins and they were seeing how they were pumping, and they were just looking to just exit at break even. I don't think they actually took significant profit. I'm thinking that maybe they were accumulating on the way down here, and actually all that happened was they just walked out break even. And I don't think it was a drawdown in the sense that usually a drawdown represents taking profit. I just think it was just people exiting at break even because they were just fed up of the progress. And it's normal, you know, you're never going to please everybody. You know, you're dealing with a large array of characters and different kinds of expectations, and a lot of people want to make quick money. Oh, you're actually saying the January the 4th, I mean a Bitcoin salon. You mean they should put the money into Marve is saying that the mean on Bitcoin is that was a drawdown, 3rd of January. Market cap went 5 billion. Solana's looking good, huh? It's at a really good level. You could buy now. Dare I say it? We're above this 3-1 GAN line. Coming to back test this 3-1. I have this higher time frame trade plan to come all the way down to 25, but I doubt it's ever going to get there. This could easily correct horizontally on a flat correction of this GAN line. I think right now the spotlight is on Bitcoin because of the ETF. And I think when the spotlight is on Bitcoin, all the altcoins are going to bleed into Bitcoin because people, for some reason, ever since forever, people have this idea in their mind that there's going to be this massive green god candle, this like gigantic 20% candle. They have this kind of idea. That's a 60% candle. So 20% candle as far as 20. There you go. That's a 20% candle. They have this idea there's going to be this 20% candle, and so obviously what happens is that all of the altcoins bleed into Bitcoin, and I would say that TRVL is no exception, except that right now anyone who's accumulating TRVL, it has no intention of selling. That's what I'm sensing with TRVL right now. Simply because of what I explained, that Bitcoin was selling off at 2 a.m. last night, and TRVL didn't go side down. If anything, it went sideways or up. It didn't at this 2 a.m. Bitcoin really looked weak, and earlier in the stream I commented on my trades. I got stopped out twice because I was trying to long, and I didn't enter again for the 3rd time until I saw some strength. So I'm in a long trade now with Bitcoin, only because I saw a recovery and a sign of strength that I was looking for. But then TRVL at the same time last night, it wasn't selling off. It looked. This is a green doji on MEX. Gate. That's a green doji. So KuCoin, it looked like there was a red candle. This is the red candle at 2 a.m. Is that a sell-off candle to you? And the other thing, you're absolutely right. We're really right now, we're turning momentum on, like we don't have any momentum. So Marve is saying that Solana had its momentum, and right now we're in the process of turning momentum. This token, look at this golden cross. That's a turn. That's a change in momentum, right? And this, for me, this 50 is very important now. It's becoming very important. I think eventually we're going to see this 50 moving average squeeze this price up. Eventually, I don't know if it's going to happen today. Yeah, I can't tell you that. I think it's possible that it could happen next week, actually. I think the reason why I'm thinking, well, it could. I mean, look at this. We're at the beginning of this weekly candle, and it looks like it could go up. But the reason why I say next week possibly is because I look at the TRVL BTC chart. I wouldn't mind if it was. I wouldn't have minded if it was above this. We got a week close above this mid. I kind of wouldn't even mind if it was there a little, pushing into the top of this Bollinger. I don't know if I want the move to begin when the price is underneath this midpoint. I think it's a lot healthier for the move to begin. We haven't actually had a move, you see. That was the first attempt. See, when the 12th of September, when it was above the mid last time, held, back tested, and it. So that was the 12th of September. See how that correlates to this chart. What was the last time we had like we were right in the pushing into the top of this Bollinger? Just couldn't hold. This one, it started from the lows. $800 billion. Usually when these with these smaller tokens, they actually pump when Bitcoin starts to leak, starts to pull back. I don't mind this price action on versus Bitcoin, to be honest with you. Look, see that? I don't mind that so much. It doesn't look like you've got wicks underneath. I don't really want to see wicks underneath. I'd prefer to see wicks on top at the lows. And I really would prefer this to kind of reclaim this midpoint. See, on the 3-day chart, we're just above the Bollinger Band midpoint. See, we're just reclaiming it now. So we're starting to do that. And look, we have this 50 moving average still coming down. See on the daily time. Look. So we were ready to squeeze. It's just a matter of when. And I think a large portion of what the anticipation is going to be very much to do with tokenomics. I can't emphasize how important that's going to be for everyone, because I think right now we're experiencing a moment. People, nothing to do with this token. It's largely speculation for higher prices because people want to flip this into some return on investment. But ultimately, once we have the utility that I imagined initially, and I think we're going to get an idea of what that utility is going to be by the end of this week, then I think people are then going to be thinking to themselves, well, actually, maybe I need to accumulate more of this token. Maybe I need to hold more of this token. Like before, I think people were thinking, well, I've got some targets for exiting, I've got some take profit targets, I've got these fib levels, and I'm looking to take key profits at certain levels, whatever. And I think maybe people are going to be looking to change their idea of what they want to do based on what is proposed on the tokenomics package, the document. Yeah, I mean, Marve is saying 52.4% of the total crypto market cap. That's BTC. When I look at BTC dominance, oh, that's the future. It's like a V-shaped recovery. Damn, I haven't even looked at that. That's a V-shaped recovery on the BTC dominance. Back above this trend line. That's really bullish for Bitcoin in terms of dominance. So really bullish. Based on what I'm seeing now, looks as though it's still probably better to be in Bitcoin. And I think this is to do with the BTC ETF. This is very bullish. That's a V-shaped recovery. We've reclaimed this this trend line. I haven't back tested it, but we're basically reclaiming that trend line. Look, that it's 54% right now. And if we can make a new high there, I wouldn't be surprised if this continues. On the higher time frame on Bitcoin dominance, I've got these levels that I have. Get on my state, see what it's saying. I have this gap back test level, which is all the way back up to this low here. Basically, all of this volume coming down created volume gaps, and so normally when it comes to the way candles behave, these volume gaps get filled, so you get this clears up all of the gaps before it continues. So actually I am expecting I don't know when, so just ignore this these brush drawings. And obviously I wasn't expecting a V-shaped recovery, which is what we're experiencing now. So we have a golden pocket area, and that golden pocket is from this pivot high up there all the way down to this low down. That golden pocket area is going to be a higher time frame distance, and we have gap. This gap has to be filled. So if you go to the higher time frame and you look at the way the candles are formed, see usually what happens is see this long red candle here all the way down here. Once you get flows, which we had here, into this candle, then that candle or candle fills. Just the way candles behave. So even though you see we got a pullback here, the pullback only went down to the bottom of this original candle, which it closed inside of this red candle. Pullback went down to the bottom of this candle, and now what we're looking to do is fill this candle. Now it could fill all the way up to the top. That would be the most bullish case for Bitcoin, but the reality, it doesn't have to fill all the way. It just has to go up to this lower wick. That would be a completed structure. In terms of candle structure, that would be correct. Go up, it would back test this level, and it would confirm it as an SR flip, and actually that is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that. I'm not expecting continuation on BTCD, just simply because I think there's a lot more interest in altcoins, and a lot more people are looking to make long-term investments which have higher returns on investment, and you're just not going to get that in Bitcoin. So and you have this kind of higher trend line. Look, I've drawn it already. See, look, 1, 2. I would take the third one, third touch. I would sell into that. I would go into altcoins. So if we see when this crosses, it's in May actually, or I don't know when this is going to happen, but if we get a rise up now, this is really bullish for Bitcoin because you have a V-shaped recovery back into this channel. Yeah, there's no reason why I would expect this to go up and not find resistance at any one of these levels to come back down. Maybe you'll get some kind of push up and then you like a double top or something, and you lose that trend line again and it will come back down, or some kind of head and shoulders. Don't know how it's going to form, but and that would be it, because you've basically done what was required, which is fill these gaps, and that's coincided with this upper trend line and this key golden pocket resistance area on BTCD. And then I don't know how this is going to play out, because obviously people are expecting with the BTC halving, they're expecting Bitcoin to go up, but no one really knows how the future is going to play out. No one knows if the altcoins are going to do better or not, or how the altcoins are going to behave in comparison to Bitcoin. One thing's for sure, for there to be an alt season, this Bitcoin dominance has to go down. If we want to see TRVL pump to, then we need this to basically lose this level and be in these lows. I think by the time Bitcoin is down here at 40%, and the most bullish scenario will be if Bitcoin is down in these lows, 42%, and Bitcoin's USDT value is at 80 or 90,000. We have that kind of scenario, then just TRVL, all the altcoins are going to be going crazy. Like literally all of them are going to go parabolic. This is what we're looking for. Actually, it's very easy to see when that happens, because we have you draw a volume pool here to here when we left that range. Even though I've got this higher yellow line that I've drawn, in terms of volume, we need to get back into this range to come back, work our way down. However this plays out, come back into, lose this point of control. Once we're down here, that's when things are going to be going crazy for the alts. Just means that all of the value from Bitcoin is going into and I think on the higher time frame, why wouldn't it do that? Look, we're making, if we reverse here, that's a lower high. Be a lower high. We haven't made a lower low here, because that's the lower high. Would that be a lower high and then we go down to make a low? I don't know. Could this be more of a triangle? I don't know. It's not so not. There. So Maybe it won't go past this low. Maybe it will just kind of, because there's a trend line there as well, Noah. See? So actually maybe get a topping pattern here. We'll lose this this is a really steep trend line. I wouldn't, this price action that you were experiencing Bitcoin now, here, this V-shaped recovery is very bullish. It's ultra bullish because of the steepness of this trend line. If it was less steep, then you wouldn't be so kind of overwhelmed by the bullishness. But this is so steep that you don't actually expect it to reclaim that steep line, and it has. It's reclaiming that steep line. But also these steep lines are easy to lose, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do quickly lose this line again. I'm suggesting there could be some kind of head and shoulders. No, it doesn't have to be a head and shoulders. It could easily just be double top, straight back down, or even just an up and like that. It could be something as simple as that. But I think the next time we lose this line, that's it. Now that we've reclaimed it, the next time we lose this trend line, however it happens, it's going to really then push down. Game over for Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, I don't expect this V-shape to happen to reclaim that line a second time. I don't expect that. It's really weird behavior. And then I'll be expecting a nice sell-off back into the alts. And obviously we don't know how high this is going to go, but if you draw some kind of fib pool to where you think it could go, let's just say it does go up to this back test or this 618, then look, the first natural point of resistance on the higher time frame, big resistance, is going to come back to this value area high of this previous range. You see that, where I've got this yellow line drawn. So it is very possible that we do kind of get a sell-off, and that will be your target. Get back into Bitcoin. That would be normal. And then maybe you would then, however high this got, you can do another fib pull, see how far it could go to get back into altcoins. So you can use this as a little bit of a guide of when it's good to be in altcoins and when it's good to be in Bitcoin. Yeah. Let's have a look at Bitcoin as well. I was talking. Oh my God! Look at this. There you go. That's a sign of strength. Yeah. Trade going. Let me have a look. I might take profit. Actually, I'm gonna take profit on my trade right now. I haven't closed it already. Sometimes I set limit closes. Closed it. I'm gonna close 50% right. So basically, I've made back all of my losses from my trades last night, and I've still got a running trade going right now. So I took 2 losses, I've made it all back plus profit, and I've got an open trade. It's amazing. I've actually made more. I've already made my 1%. So I made back, I lost 2% last night. I've already made back the 2% plus a 1%. And I've got the rest running right now, which is another 2%. So that's why you have to persist with when it doesn't look like it's going your way. You just have to do it. You just have to keep on practicing until you can get it. My friend David is like spamming me on the Signal. I'm just gonna give him the good news. He's going to be happy because I messaged him last night saying that I'm in a long, and he took a long as well. And actually David is going to join us tomorrow. it'll be more, these streams will be more interesting. It won't just be me. 2 people. Yeah, you just have to take profit. Don't never hesitate to take profit when you get to key levels. You know, I could take profit now, and then on the back test, if I want to, I can add the money. I can add it back. See how TRVL is doing in context. See that? You know why? Because spotlight's on Bitcoin. It's still going up, huh? I was going to have a look at EGC